Protein is a basic nutrient and a very important nutrient for your dog. Protein is probably one of the most talked about nutrients in all canine nutrition. People know basically what protein is, and they associate it with the growth of muscle, which is correct, growth of other protein-rich tissues, which would include nerve tissue, blood, brain tissue, and even bone tissue. Protein is needed on an ongoing basis throughout life, especially in the growth phase and in the lactation phase in females. The need for protein is constant because the body continually breaks down muscle tissue as muscle tissue begins to age or is used vigorously, and it needs protein to replace that muscle tissue. That's the primary function and use of the volume of protein that your dog takes in. If the dog takes in too much protein, well, they try to break it down and use it as energy also because it's based on carbon. But mainly, what protein is used for is the formation of muscle tissue and these other important tissues. But what is protein? Well, protein is a nitrogen-based nutrient. It's made on a base of nitrogen, and it's a complex organic molecule which is comprised mainly of 10 essential amino acids that need to be in the food. The word essential amino acid means that it is essential that it be in the food. There are other amino acids that your dog produces themselves. They synthesize them in their own body. So you don't have to put them in the food. They make them themselves. There are 10 that they have to have in the food, and they have to have them in the right proportion or ratio to each other. You don't just want to feed a lot of lysine or something you read about on the internet that was good and just get you some lysine and put it in there thinking, boy, I'm taking care of this lysine. Because if you get the lysine level out of proportion with, say, the methionine level or the threonine level or one of the other 10 amino acids, you have interfered with what would have been good protein digestion. The ratio that I mentioned has to be appropriate. And science, the very science that I spoke about in another segment, of what ratio is needed of these amino acids in proper canine nutrition is known. That is not an unknown thing. It is a scientifically proven, known thing. What amino acid levels are needed in what proportion to each other in different life stages, in different gestational stages, senior stages. All of it has been studied in real research. So when it comes to protein, don't just think, well, protein is really important and I know that, so I'm going to feed a lot of it, or I heard lysine's great and I'm going to get me some lysine from the health food store or from the Petco or anywhere else and just dump a bunch of it on top of my pet food. What you've done there is taken a little bit of truth you learned, and then because you didn't know the best thing to do, although you meant well, you totally messed up the ability of the animal to digest their protein properly. You need to find a quality company you believe in that knows how to put together high quality pet food, that's balanced according to these facts, does it over and over again year after year. Try that product, see how it works on your dog, and stick with it when you find one that works great for you. Protein is just one important nutrient. It is not the only thing your dog needs.